Hey guys, how you doing? So I just wanted to bring some attention to this missing person. His name is Daniel Robinson. He's 24 years old. He went missing June 23rd, I believe. Just a quick description. Robinson is 5 feet 8 inches tall, 165, with black hair and brown eyes. He is missing part of his right arm, his forearm, and his hand, according to the missing person report. Robinson didn't tell anybody where he was going or why he was leaving, and he has not been seen or heard of ever since. His family, as soon as they found out he was missing, commuted all the way from South Carolina to Arizona to assist, and they will stay there until he is found. So far, which I'm going to link down below, they already have a website up for him and everything. Like the family's like on it. They also have a GoFundMe, to help for, it's expensive to get people to go out there and, and then they got to live over there. But the father is a retired Army vet. So according to the site, Robinson moved to Phoenix after graduating from college 3 years ago, and had a passion for adventure and travel. His job often took him to remote areas in the desert, where he worked in extreme conditions and traveled long distances to work on projects. David Robinson, Daniel's father, told Inside Edition Digital, this is where I'm reading the article, that he left his home in South Carolina once he learned his son was missing, and has been in Arizona ever since trying to find Daniel. I'm not going to leave here until he is found. And I don't blame him. He's been there so far 31 days. I'm tired, emotionally stressed, he said. They found my son's vehicle and his personal belongings, but it doesn't put me closer to my son. The retired Army veteran said he and his son would speak at least twice a week. The last time they spoke was 3 days before Daniel went missing. He was typical Daniel. We were on the phone for at least an hour. He was interested in a young lady. He has always been very open with me and his mother, Robinson said, describing his son: smart, loving, outspoken. Police have said no foul play is suspected in the case. Robinson and his son was looking forward to his future. I would like to emphasize that my son was not depressed. And I'm glad that he said that straight out, because, a lot of times they will just assume people are depressed. And, he says he was enjoying his life and excited about his future. He was not the type of guy to go anywhere without staying in touch with his family. And it is hurtful to us what some people have said. Wow. So people are already judging, and this hasn't gotten as much attention, and it's pretty sad. This was a young man, educated, for no reason. He just disappeared. That doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, the car's passed by. Oh, that's a ghetto bird. Okay, so they're looking for as much help as if anybody wants to go out there, if you're out in Arizona, if you want to help, they do meet up regularly. There's a form that you can fill out on the website, which I'm going to link down below. This is the website dedicated to find Daniel. And to, if you can't go out there to help find him, just please share any information, and I'll keep you updated on this story. Let me see, the last place that he was, there's like so many missing people. I have tracking devices pretty much everywhere on my person, like everywhere on my person. I will be found, hopefully it all helps, if anything goes wrong, because you never know. Okay, so it looks like his car was discovered, it was back in July. A rancher discovered, this was a couple days after he went missing. A rancher discovered Robinson's vehicle, a blue-gray 2017 Jeep Renegade with Arizona license plate, on his property, about 4 miles southwest of Sun Valley Park, just north of Cactus Road. The vehicle was reportedly found in a ravine and appeared to have rolled and landed on its side. The airbags in the vehicle deployed. Oh. And police were able to determine that Robinson was wearing his seatbelt at the time of the crash, according to the Buckeye Police news release. Wow. Robinson's cell phone, wallet, and some of his clothing and keys were found at the crash site. Wow. What happened? According to the missing persons report, Robinson didn't tell anyone where he was going or why he was leaving, and he has not been seen or heard from since, the police said. The Department of Public Safety, Ranger Helicopter, and Maricopa County Sheriff's Office search and rescue dogs have been involved in the search, but so far there have been no trace of the young researcher. So on June 23rd is when they filed the missing persons report. Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and put up these photos and share any information. Share this, please. We need to find this young man, and I hope he's okay. I really do. There's really no reason for this, you know. And if anybody there locally, please, if you know anything, if you heard anything, rumors, whatever, as long as it's a tip, please contact the authorities and let them know. It's very important that you do that, okay? Okay, so here is an update. This was last week, about a week ago. Okay, so update on Daniel Robinson's. Okay, his mother and his siblings, they flew to Arizona to hold this press conference last Sunday. The Buckeye Police Department, in an attempt to keep pressure on authorities to find 24-year-old who hasn't been seen in months. He's been missing for 3 months. The young man's father, David Robinson, has been in Arizona for that majority, for the time that he's been gone. They even have a private investigator. Nearly 55,000 people have signed a Justice for Daniel Robinson petition, and his friends and relatives demand answers to this mystery. Okay, so the update that I want to show you here, and the father he's not very happy, you know. I don't blame him. It's been 3 months, he said on Sunday. That only happens when nobody takes your child or your missing person seriously. That's the reason why we have to get a petition, to get the support of the community behind us getting things done. And this is what you call advocating for your child. If you don't advocate for your child, then who is going to advocate for your children? Like, come on. Stay on their asses, Mr. Robinson. I'm right there with you. Okay, they hired the investigator. Now this I didn't know. The area had been repeatedly searched before the discovery of the car. The Jeep, remember, it was found in the ravine. Okay, well, that area was searched, and then all of a sudden they found it. Okay, they found it on July 20th. Evidence from the vehicle showed that it crashed, and then it drove another 11 miles before ending up in the ravine with the last known speed of 30 miles per hour. Mr. McGrath told The Independent, even though he couldn't recreate those speed conditions in the terrain there. So how did that happen? So there's something very suspicious. Now, what if he got injured? You know, what if he hit his head and he's just like wandering somewhere? Why isn't it stepped up right now? It's just a missing person. They need to recategorize it because of the suspicious circumstances, you would think, right? Ken Elliott, this is a coworker, another geologist who'd been working with Mr. Robinson on the morning he disappeared, said the 24-year-old seemed fine when they met at the job site. But within a matter of minutes, Mr. Robinson began speaking strangely. and staring off into the desert, said Mr. Elliott. Without any explanation, Mr. Robinson then got into his Jeep and left. Mr. Elliott later followed the vehicle tracks, which said led further into the desert. When I saw that, my heart sank because it just told me that he wasn't going home. Mr. Elliott told The Independent something was really not right. Repeated air and land searches have been conducted, even cadaver dogs, nada, nothing. He just disappeared. That's it. Even the investigators, he didn't even take anything with him. The ID was found, his clothing, his phone, everything was there. There's no pre-planning, tidbits, no evidence of anything. So basically, that's the update. Let's keep this story going, and I'll have another update if anything comes up. But they did find some remains in the desert, but they did not belong to Mr. Robinson. So if you hear that, it's not him. Those haven't yet been identified. Okay, so I was editing and I'm folding laundry, and the ideas are coming to my head. Okay, so I just decided to add this towards the end. Okay, what would make, he's in his he's in his mid-20s, a young single guy, going to work, a job that he loves. To my knowledge, I don't think there was any problems with his workplace. I'm not too sure yet. But what would make him just up and leave his job without telling anybody anything and just walking out? It was kind of not making sense, which I'm not sure why the person didn't say, hey, are you okay? Because they work out in the sun. So heat exhaustion, if you're not drinking enough water, it can really get you, and it's very serious. Make him just up and leave, risking his job. He's risking his job, just leaving. What would it be? Okay, now my first question is, does he have a best friend there? Does he have a buddy that he hangs out with? Maybe somebody that was in distress, a damsel in distress, maybe a girl, maybe the girl he was interested in. Was there anything, what would just make him up and leave just like that and risk everything? Okay. Second question I have is, the clothes that were found at the site, were those the clothes that he was wearing, or was that just an extra pair that he had? Another question I have is, when the friend is my last question, when the coworker went to follow the trail, and it went into the desert, he just stopped, or what did he do? Is that when he called the cops? What happened right there? Did he just turn around and go to work? I kind of need some more information on that. But it's just a mystery. Why would he loves his job, his new career. He moved across town for it. So my question is, why didn't the coworker say, hey, are you okay? Do you need rest? Because when you're not making sense, you just kind of leave him like that. That's not, that's not, and then the second ding was him following the trail, and then what happened? That was two dings, that's two red flags right there. And that didn't, I don't know. That just sounds odd to me. It's a little off. Anyways, if anybody knows the answers to that, just comment down below. I'm going to say this with all due respect. Okay. Just my personal experience. My whole family works outside. My dad, since he was 13 years old, concrete is his life. Okay. My uncles, everybody, me, I've worked outside before. It's brutal, especially if you're not used to it. And then, everybody is desperate to go back to work, everything to go back to normal, with the whole COVID-19. So maybe, I don't know if he had some time off, because he's been there for 3 years. I don't know if he's had time off, and he wasn't prepared, because he's not used to that type of heat. I kind of am leaning more towards it was probably that, because it didn't seem like he had any enemies or anything like that. It would make sense that he would, be delusioned and he had the symptoms of it. Just jumped in his car, was probably trying to get relief, the air, the air condition. And possibly that's when he had a wreck. The problem that I have is, okay, so if he did have an accident, because he had was having, heat stroke or, some heat related issues. Okay, so then who moved his vehicle? Okay, he had his seatbelt on. Who removed his seatbelt? Where is he at? So that would tell me if he had an issue, it would have been at work. And a big company. Just again, my personal experiences. My brother passed away in prison. Okay, and the freaking prison brought him back to life just so he can die in the hospital, because they didn't want that responsibility on them. Yeah, I would just look into the company just a little bit closer, because it really doesn't make any sense. Um, as we've seen with the Chris Watts case, local police will cover. That's why maybe they're so nonchalant about it, because they know what's going on and what happened to him. They'll cover for the companies any day, because, they can be bought. So I would just another opinion. And I wish y'all the best of luck. Prayers. I'm going to continue speaking about this case, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.